Okay, today we'll be studying about splitting the middle term. Okay, so before we start question number 4, I'm gonna be showing you a few examples of splitting the middle term first, how we do it. Okay, I'll do two at once so that you'll get a better idea of how it's done. So first, our first priority is to look at the coefficient. Coefficient means numbers, okay, attached to x square, which is in this case this, and the constant, which means without any x or x square. Okay, so 5 does not have any variables attached to it, and 6 is attached to x square. So we will multiply these two first. So 6 into 5 we will do. So 6 into 5 is how much? 30, right? We'll keep that aside, and then this thing we'll write exactly the same. This thing also we will write exactly the same, but the middle term, it's called splitting the middle term, right? So the middle term, we will keep it like this. The 17 is the middle term, so we will not write 17, we will write x. If this is minus x, I'll just write here minus x. If this is plus x, I'll just write here plus x. Okay, according to this sign, I'll just put this sign, x, and then the number is not written, but we will put it, instead we'll open a bracket and just write it down. So let's do the same thing here also. First we'll write x squared, then write 6, and in the middle we'll write according to the sign minus x is here, so minus x is here, and then we will leave a bracket, and we will not write the middle number, right? So what we write in the middle number depends on this. So first we multiply the value of number attached to x squared and the constant. After getting a number, we're gonna prime factorize. Okay, when we prime factorize, we have to do it with prime numbers, so starting with the lowest one. So 2 is the lowest prime number, so 2 into 15. As soon as you finish one step, this is one step, right? As soon as you finish one step, you're gonna add and subtract these two. See if you're getting 17 or not, the middle one. You're going to add and subtract these two and see if it's getting 17 or not. If you're not getting 17, you will move to the next step again. But since in this case, we're getting 17 from the get-go, which is 2 plus 15. So I'm going to write here 15 plus 2. It doesn't matter, you can write 2 plus 15 also. Now, in this case, since there is no number attached to x squared, we will assume that the number attached to x squared is 1. So in this case, it will be 1 into 6, which is 6 only, right? This number into the constant. And then we will do prime factorization. So the minimum is 2, so 2 into 3. In this case, we're getting 2 plus 3 is 5. So we're going to write 5. So what we're doing is, we're splitting the middle term, 17, we're splitting it into two parts, such that 15 plus 2 is 17 only. 2 plus, oh sorry, this is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5 only. Got it? We're splitting 17 into two terms. 15 plus 2 is 17. 2 plus 3 is 5. One thing you'll have to know is that, see, 17, I can literally write 17 as 13 minus 13 also. We will still get 17, right? I can write 20 minus 3 also. 10 plus 7 also. It doesn't matter. We will get 17 no matter what way we write. But in this particular instance, we want 17 in such a way that these two numbers, whatever, like when you subtract this two, you're getting 17, but when you multiply these two, we're getting 60. When you multiply these two, we're getting 390. When we multiply these two, we're getting 70, right? So we want two numbers such that added, subtracted together is 17, and when multiplied together is equal to the number attached to x squared and constant multiplied together. So 15 into 2 is 30. 6 into 5 is also 30. We want such numbers, okay? That's why we have to do all this stuff. So in simple terms, first of all, just write this exactly the same. Write this exactly the same. 17, don't write it. Only the x, we write it. Right? Exactly the same. Exactly the same. X minus x, we write it. Only the number, we don't write it. After that, we multiply this and write it somewhere. This one, the first one, and the last one, and then we prime factorize and see if addition subtraction comes out to be 17 or not. In this case, 1 into 6, 6. We prime factorize, see if addition subtraction comes out to be 5 or not. Got it? Now the next step is, I hope you're following the steps properly. Now we open the bracket. We don't add this, okay? If we add this, it'll go back to the same exact thing. So we'll open the bracket. When you open the bracket, this becomes x squared plus 15. This x will multiply both everything that's inside the bracket. This x will multiply this x will multiply this also. So x into 15 is 15x plus x into 2 is 2x plus 5. Just like that, let's open this bracket also. So when you're opening the bracket, this is minus x. You have to remember that minus x multiplies this, minus x multiplies this. Very, very important. You have to remember that it's minus x. So minus x into 2 becomes minus 2x, minus x into 3 becomes minus 3x. Minus into 2, minus into plus, minus or minus 3x. Got it? Plus 6. Now we're going to take highest common factors, okay? Taking highest common factors is literally like dividing two things. So first we have to take highest common factor from these two and these two. Always we pair it up. So these two and these two. So from these two, what is the highest number that can divide both? The highest number that can divide both. In this case, the highest number that can divide both is 3. Yes? And then you also have to see if they are both sharing x or not. You have to be x tuita, x square means 2x's. X square literally means x into x, okay? X into x is x square, we know that. So x square literally means x into x. So there's 2x here and there's 1x here. So since they're both sharing x, I can take one of the x. Now, I told you with highest common factor means the highest number which can divide both. Nah? So if I divide this by 3x, since 3 is the highest number that can divide both, when I divide this by 3, the 6, I'll get 2. 3 2s are 6, right? And then since out of the 2x, x squared literally means 2x. So out of the 2x, since one of the x is out, one x is out. So only one x is left. So x here. Plus, since plus is here, I'm just writing plus. From 15, I divide by 3. How many? 15 divided by 3 is 5. And here was 1x. The x is out. When I say out, it literally means we're taking out from these things. So from here, 2 x's were there. I took it out. Got it? And from here, 1x was there. This x is also out. So which means there is nothing left here. So let me repeat that again. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 15 divided by 3 is 5. There was 2x here and there was 1x here. These two x's together, I took it out. So it's like this. When I open the bracket, this part don't write, okay? This part is just an example part, okay? This part. When I open the bracket, what will happen is, like literally just, we did it here, x multiplies both. So in this case, 3x will multiply both. When 3x multiplies both, 3 2s are 6, x squared, 5 3s are 15x. We're getting exactly the same value. So we're just making this into this term, okay? Don't get confused. Now for these two, this entire thing is this only. Now I want to do the same thing with this also. So for this, what I'm going to do is, since there's no number which can divide both, the highest number that can divide both will be 1 only. So I'm going to take 1 out. If I take 1 out, everything remains the same. So I'm going to write it like this. 1 into 2 is 2, 1 into 5 is 5. Same. So whenever you're splitting the middle term, okay, here's a neat trick you can use, is that this inside the bracket one, this is inside the bracket. And this is also inside the bracket. You'll get two things inside the bracket. And these things will always be exactly the same. If it's not same, then something is wrong with whatever you're doing. So in this case, these two is exactly the same. So after doing this, let's cut this for the timing. This is just for understanding. So after doing this, what we're going to do is we're going to write whatever is same here. And then whatever it's left. 3x is left plus 1 is left, nah? 3x plus 1. I'll explain to you why this is happening also. But before we before I explain why this is happening, let's see what happens here also. Same exact thing before you forget how this was done, okay? From here, no number is there, so highest common factor is 1 only. So, but here there's 2 x's and 1 x. So if x is also sharing, we take out the x also. So from here 2 x's were there, 1 x is out, so 1 x is left. From here 1 x was there, it's out, so only 2 is left. Sign remains the same. From here, the highest number which can divide both is 3, right? 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6. And then the sign here, you will always use what sign this is. So in this case, minus 3. And since there's no x being shared, we cannot take x common. So minus 3 is here. Now 3 divides 3, what is left? 1, right? And x is left. Now very important part is that, see, as I've already told you, if you open this bracket, this multiplies both and it will go back to the exactly how it was, right? And if I open this bracket also, it'll multiply both and it'll go exactly how it was. Just like that, here also, minus 3, when I open the bracket, it should go exactly how it was, right? So minus 3 into 1 is minus 3. Now minus 3 into what will be plus 6? It will be minus 2. Got it or not? If you're confused, let me tell you. Suppose I told you we're dividing by whatever it's out, we're dividing by the term. Nah? So we divided minus 3 by minus 3. We're getting 1. So I wrote 1. Now 6 is here. 6 is being divided by whatever is outside, minus 3. So 3 1s are 3 2s are. What's left? 2 by minus 1. But 2 by minus 1 is same as minus 2. Minus goes up automatic. So it's the same thing, minus 2 we're getting when we divide 6 by minus 3. So since this 2 is exactly the same, we take this out, and then whatever it's left, this and this is being written here. Now let me tell you why this step is happening, this step, okay? For example, in this particular question, since x minus 2 and x minus 2 is exactly the same, so x minus 2 and x minus 2 is exactly the same, can I write this, okay? Can I write this as x into, let's say x minus 2 is represented by z, okay? Let's say, so x into x minus, instead of x minus 2, I'm going to write z. And then here also, I'm going to write, instead of x minus 2, z. Minus 3 into z. So, z and z is same. Just like how we take the same x's out. Here, z and z is same. So, z, if we take it out, what is left? One z is there, it's out, so x is left. From here also, z was there, it's out, so minus 3 is left. But what is z? Z is x minus 2. So, instead of z, I can write x minus 2. And from here, x minus 3. Which is the same thing as this. So this is what we are actually doing, but we're skipping all the steps and directly going from here to here. Okay. The same case here also. If you did not understand properly, we'll do one more example, two more examples. Please try to listen properly, and then we'll start question number 4. Okay. So first thing, what do? We write this exactly the same. Here we write the x along with the sign, and then we start a bracket, and then we write exactly the same. Here also let's do. We write exactly the same here along with the sign. See, in this case, there's no numbers attached with x, right? So we assume, whenever there's no numbers, we always assume it as 1. So we write x, and then instead of 1, I'm going to put a bracket, minus 6. So what do we do next? We multiply this, since there's nothing, I just assume it's 1, and this, and we write it here. We multiply this and this, forget about the sign, okay? You just multiply the numbers. So 2 into 6, and I'll write it here, okay? Now, what do we have to do? We have to prime factorize everything. Nah? So let's do with this one first, 120. 120, if we do, let's do it. You have to do only by prime numbers. Got it? Prime numbers. So You cannot do it 10. You have to do it by 5 prime number. So 5 2s are 10. There's 2 in hand, so 5 4s are 20. Let's do by 2 now. 2 1s are 2. See, let me do that. Let's start from the starting. 5 24 now. After getting 24 and 5, what you have to do is you have to try and add these two, subtract these two, see if we're getting 22 or not. Got it? We're not getting 22, right? So then when you're not getting, you move to the next step. 2 1s are 2s are. Now you multiply these two, we're getting 10. 5 into 2 is 10. Now that the result is 10 of itu tidak multiply 10, now you compare this and this together now. 8 subtract these two. Are we getting 22 or not? We're getting 22, right? 10 plus 12. So I'm going to write here 10 plus 12. Got it? Let's do it for this one also. 2 into 6. So 2 into 6 is 12. So if I do this, I need to get 1, okay, by the way. So let's do it by 2 first. So 2, if I do 2 6 are 12. 2 plus 6, 2 minus 6, we're not getting 1. So let's do it by 2 again, 2 3s are. Now we multiply these two, 2 2s are 4. Now we compare this and this. 4 plus 3, 4 minus 3, we're getting 4 minus 3 as 1. Right? Now, the next step is for you to open the bracket. So x square, when you open this bracket, I've already told you this minus applies to x. So minus x will multiply both. So minus x into 10 is minus 10x. Minus x into 12 is minus 12x plus 120. In this case also 2x squared plus, since this is plus 4 plus x into 4 is plus 4x. Plus into minus is minus 3x minus 6. Now we're going to take common from these two, which means x is the highest common factor. So we're taking x. There's 2x, so 1x is left. From 1x is gone, so 10 is left. From here, since minus is there, I have to write minus first. And then the highest number that can divide both is 12. So if I take 12 out, minus 12 out, here will be 1x. And then here will be minus 10. Because minus 12 into minus 10 is plus 120. Or you can also say that 120 divided by minus 12 is minus 10. Okay, whatever suits you. Now, this and this is exactly the same. One, same thing only. So I'm going to write whatever is same front and then whatever is left here. Okay, let's try with this one also. From these two, the highest number is 2. Which can divide both, and then x is being shared, so x is out. From here, 2 1s are 2 and 1x is left. From here, 2 2s are 4 and the 1x is out. From here, the highest number which can divide both, I have to write the sign first, and then I have to write 3 because 3 can divide both. So if I divide minus 3 by minus 3, I'll get 1. Minus 6 by minus 3, I'll get 2. But minus, we're doing minus 6 by minus 3. So minus we can cut. So we're getting plus 2. So plus 2. Or you can look at it like this also. Minus 3 into plus 2 is minus 6. Minus into plus 2, minus 2. And then we'll write whatever is same here. And then whatever is left here. So that's how it's done. We'll start the next exercise on the next video.